guys? What's going on? So I just started the scope like 5 minutes ago, and literally as soon as I pushed the button to start the scope, let me take my glasses off. As soon as I pushed the button to start the scope, my phone shut off. It said too hot, can't use it until the temperature cools down. Isn't that crazy? Have you guys ever had that happen to you? I've had it happen to a laptop and an iPad, but never my iPhone. So that was a first. Very interesting. So welcome, guys. Can you hear me okay? Let me know. Type the number 1 if you can hear me okay, just to make sure that the audio is coming through. I am the TZ. Finch Group is in the house. Hey, I am the TZ. What's up? Can you guys hear me okay? Type the number 1 if you can hear me. Okay, I actually pulled over to do this quick scope for you guys. Okay, perfect. So, I was telling people that I actually tried to do the scope a few minutes ago, but my phone, it completely shut off because it was hot, literally as soon as I pushed the button. So, today's going to be a quick scope, and the title is The Story of a Carpenter. And this is for Whiteboard Wednesday. I had erased everything on my whiteboard this week, and I'm not actually in front of the whiteboard today. However, whenever I was leaving the office, I looked on the whiteboard, and there was only one thing that was written on there. And the only thing that's in there, it said, remember the story of the carpenter. And this is something that I wanted to share with you guys because it's been inspirational for me, and it's helped me whenever I'm doing work that I know I could be doing a better job of. And so it's always good to really remember that and just understand that, you know, if we're going to do anything, we need to do it the best way possible. So I want to tell you this quick story really quick, and then I have to go. So today's Glover Scope episode is going to be super short. I am headed to pick up a U-Haul trailer and pick up some carpet for one of our rent houses. We got a really great deal. Somebody is giving us some carpet, and it's perfect for one of our rent houses, but the only stipulation is we have to pick it up today, and so there's nobody to do that. And so I'm going to go grab a truck and haul me some carpet this afternoon. So that's on the agenda. By the way, those of you that have not, if you haven't already done so, if you're in business, if you're selling stuff on webinars, definitely go check out the latest blog post on the Results 513 blog, because I just published it literally 20 minutes ago, and it has, it's basically giving you 3 word-for-word closing scripts that you can use on a webinar that will close more sales. It's very cool. You'll actually get the scripts that you can copy and paste, plus you'll actually be able to hear me go through and do a delivery of each one of those scripts. So, alright, let's get rid of this guy. Sorry, Rob. Welcome to Block Zone. Alright, so the story of the carpenter, what I want to share with you guys is really a story of a guy that was a carpenter by trade, and he'd been a carpenter for his entire life. And after years and years of doing this, he decided that he was no longer passionate about doing carpentry work, and he wanted to quit. So he let his contractor know, he let his employer know. He said, I'm going to be quitting. And the guy said, okay, that's fine. Can you do me a favor and build one more house? Can you build one more house before you quit? And the guy said, sure, you know what? I'll build one more house. The guy asked him, he said, you know, what's the reason that you want to actually quit? And he said, well, I want to quit because I don't have the time for my family, and that's the reason I started doing this. So I want to have the time for my family. It's going to definitely hurt not having the paycheck, but it's something that I'm just no longer passionate about, and my job is suffering. My work is suffering because of it, and I no longer want to do it. So the guy said, okay, that's fine. Do me a favor and build one more house. Will you do that? And the carpenter said, yeah, sure, I'll absolutely do that. And so he goes through his process of building his house, and he's building his final house, but by this point, he's so over being a carpenter. Like, he's tired of it. He doesn't want to do it. He's like just doing a horrible job, using subpar materials, not doing that great of a job because he's just burnt out. He doesn't want to do it. And sometimes we all get like this in our business. We're doing the things that we know we need to do, but we're just sort of scooting by. We're just sort of doing them at par. Like we could definitely do better, and we know we could. Now, the interesting thing about this carpenter is whenever he finished the house, he goes back to his contractor, his boss, and says, okay, I'm done building this final house, so that was my last job. We'll talk to you later. You know, I'm done. I'm no longer going to be a carpenter. And the carpenter says, okay, so the carpenter says, this house was actually your house. All right, this house that you've been building is your house. I want to give you this house. And the guy realized then, the whole time he had been building his house, the whole time he had used crappy material, the whole time he was just speeding through things and not doing things the way that he knew how to do them. He was taking shortcuts and just cutting corners and not doing things the way that he knew that he could do them, sort of half-assing them. And turns out it was his house. So he had this house that he knew was not built that well. And that's the story of the carpenter. So the whole lesson behind this is make sure that if you are doing something in your business, you know, make sure that you're doing something that you love doing. Because if not, your work will absolutely suffer. And if your work suffers, then it's, you know, I mean, there's no point in doing half-ass work, because you wouldn't want to live in a house that this carpenter built because he did a half-ass job. So make sure that if you're going to do something, do it. Make sure you do it you do it correctly. Put everything into it. You know, otherwise don't do it. Really think about, if I can't give everything for this task, for this project, for this thing, maybe I don't need to do it at all. Thank you guys. I'm glad you're enjoying the story and you found it helpful. I appreciate it. Hey, if you did find this broadcast helpful, I would definitely be appreciative if you guys would swipe to the right and click the follow button. Make sure that you're following me, because I do these broadcasts on a regular basis. Those of you that are new here that have never been on one of my broadcasts, my name is Justin Glover. I'm a father, a husband, an entrepreneur, and basically I teach people how to build successful businesses that are profitable, that without beating their head against the wall, without all of the stress and anxiety and frustration. That's who I am, and that's what I do. So followed back, thank you for the help. Absolutely, yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. I'm glad you enjoyed the story. Jason, thank you so much for sharing on Twitter. I appreciate that. If you guys share on Twitter, make sure that you use the hashtag GloverScope, and at any time you can tap the hearts, you can tap the screen to leave hearts. How to follow: if you tap the guy in the bottom right hand corner above the number 11, right beside the number 11, so that guy's name is Carl, and if you just click on him, it'll pop up a little box with my profile, and it has my name and hearts and all of that stuff. Make sure that you click the button that says follow, and when you're following me, then you'll get notified on your phone. His name is, I've named him Carl. That's not the technical name. It's a reference from the movie Sling Blade, if you've ever seen that movie. And by the way, one fun fact of why you should follow me, because you're very likely to see me make a fool out of myself in the near future. You're very likely to see me host an episode of GloverScope as Carl. Alright, so make sure that you're following me. Yeah, if you want to follow me, just click on this button right here that I'm pointing at. Alright, so everybody somebody tap on the screen so there's some hearts. You're going to want to click the button right next to the hearts, right below the hearts that are floating. Okay, I think I'm pointing at it right there. And when you click that, there will be a button that says follow. Make sure you're clicking that, and and you'll be able to follow. Thank you. I do have a pretty good objective, actually. You have share only. Okay, so click on my name, and you may have to scroll to the side to make sure that you're following me. You can also go to periscope.tv/Justin Glover. All right, just open that up in a new browser. You can actually go there, periscope.tv/Justin Glover. And perfect, followed, awesome. So now you will be notified. And like I said, I do these broadcasts on a regular basis where I just come and give some value. Wednesdays is usually Whiteboard Wednesday, where I stand in front of, I've got this 10-foot whiteboard in my office and I stand in front of it and actually teach whatever is on the whiteboard for that week. Some of my best ideas. Sometimes there's a lot of stuff, so it's a long, like 2-hour presentation worth of just amazing value, and behind the scenes look at our business. Sometimes it's just one simple thing. Sometimes whenever I need to focus in my business, one of the things that I'll do is I'll erase everything on this whiteboard and write one simple statement. And the statement that was on the whiteboard today was the story of the carpenter. Remember the story of the carpenter. And that is, if you are going to do something, the lesson behind that story is, if you were going to do something in business, make sure that you do it right. Make sure, not perfect, I'm not saying that, because there's a whole perfectionism thing that can take over, and that doesn't lead to anything good. But if you're going to do something, put your all into it. Actually do it. All right, give it a good chance. Give it a good shot. Put some energy and effort into it, and make it amazing. All right. When you do so, people will take note, and life will be good. So that is my message for today. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you are doing webinars, or if you want to do webinars, if you're selling anything, you definitely want to check out the latest blog post on the Results 513 blog. Just go to results513.com/blog, and you will see the new latest blog post. It's called 3 Webinar Closing Scripts. It's guaranteed to make you money. And literally, you'll get the copy and paste, word for word, the exact scripts that you can just read on your next webinar, and it will help you close more sales. All right, you'll also hear me deliver those pitches. You'll hear me deliver those closing scripts as an example, so you can just model, and you'll be able to hear my tonality and all of that stuff. So if you're delivering webinars, if you're selling on webinars, make sure you go check that out, because I promise you can make some more money if you just apply what I teach here in that broadcast, or in that podcast. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Appreciate the heart love. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. Share this on Twitter. Share this with you can invite your followers. Show up to my next broadcast. This one is actually over, so don't worry about inviting right now. Feel free to share this on Twitter, though. You can invite some folks, and any of my next broadcasts too. I would appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. Results513.com/blog. Check out that latest blog post. And I'm going to rent a U-Haul truck and bring some carpet. So thank you guys so much. We'll talk soon, and peace out.